Hey YouTube, I'm Mikey. This is an ant. And today, I'm making cordage. This is Yucca. It's a member of the palm family and is a very useful plant here in the South. It's beautiful, it's versatile. You can seriously do just about anything with this. It's a really good bow drill wood for your spindle. Once the stem has dried out, you can see how thick some of those are, and once this dries out, it'll make a really good spindle for your bow drill. The leaves make a great natural cordage, and that's actually what we're here for today. You can also scrape the leaves, and it has saponins in it, saponins, however you want to pronounce it, and you can make soap with it. So, really useful plant, and I prefer to use it a lot for my cordage, my natural cordage. It's a really strong natural cordage. So I'm going to gather some of this stuff up and get started on that. Blackberries. All right, let's get some yucca. I prefer to get the older leaves closer to the ground. These plants here haven't bloomed yet. There is still some real down low. I'm going to take those. Those are the yucca leaves. You'll scrape this stuff off. See how easy that comes off. But that's for processing. Let's get some more. Now that I have my yucca palms, I can start processing them down. When you have the dry palms, you can just kind of twist them up and the fibers will come loose. But seeing these are green, you have to scrape that layer off. You can do that with either a sharp edge on a rock or your knife. I have this old little piece of wood here, something to bear down on. So I'll take the yucca and start scratching away at it. When you can find the old dried up yucca leaves, they go a lot faster, but in my experience, this is stronger. And all of this can be used to make soap. May do that in a later video. Oh, the knife wants to get used. But you can see how fibrous this stuff already is. That's one. Got just a whole bunch of this, and it all scrapes exactly the same way. I didn't think everybody would want to see me scrape 14 pieces of yucca. This is a time-consuming process, but if you're in a pinch and you need that extra little bit of cordage, this is probably the strongest you can get here. There's a lot of plants here that you can make cordage out of. Yucca, obviously, tulip poplar bark, the inner bark of the tulip poplar, that's good stuff. It makes a good tinder too. Nettles, different types of nettles. Stinging nettle is predominant here. Even cedar bark, the inner cedar bark makes not a strong cordage, but a fast cordage. This is strong enough probably to use, 8-pound test line for fishing or more, depending on how thick it is and how green it is. It's even great for primitive bow strings, just like a survival bow. Might not be something that lasts forever, but it may be the difference between going to bed that night hungry and going to bed that night with a squirrel. When you start this, do not expect it to be fast. None of this ever is. It's a process. Everything you do in survival or just primitive living in general is a process. It's never quick. Meet Billy, everybody. Hey, Billy. I guess Billy's wanting to help us out with this one. What are you doing, Billy boy? Billy's our little red bone. All right, Billy. We got to twist up some cordage here, buddy. Alright, now that we have a bunch of it kind of stripped down, we need to rip it apart, get the fibers out of it. See all those fibers? And you can just grab it by the handful and pull it, and all those fibers will come loose. Yeah, great stuff. Pull those fibers apart, you just kind of grab it and pull it apart. You can keep working these things down thinner and thinner. You don't have to, but you can. Look at that. You'll notice there's some green still on that. If you can get that off, great. It doesn't do anything to help the cordage. A little bit won't hurt it, but if you can get it off, awesome. Sounds like we got a storm trying to move in on us. Alright, so got a little bit broke up here. And I would do more, but it looks like it's about to rain. The wind's blowing pretty good. We've got some heavy cloud coming in. So I might have to cut this one a little bit short. But anyways, grab you up a few pieces here. Pull those out. Find you a good spot. Start twisting. Oh, and you'll see it curl up just like that. Do you see it? Watch, watch. Whenever you twist, it'll curl up. That's where you want to hold it at now. You're going to pinch the little tip of that, right there where it crossed at. You're going to pinch that. And you're going to twist away from your body, reach down, grab the other end, and flip towards your body. Twist, grab, flip. And that's why it's called the reverse twist. You see, starts making the little hemp rope looking jute cordage. So twist away, grab, flip. And once you've done this for a while, then it comes, I don't know, second nature. Like I said, making cordage isn't something that goes fast. If you want instant gratification, you better bring you some rope. This stuff right here, you could spend all day making 10 or 12 feet of this. If you just need a tie off for something, a little piece of your shelter, something like that, you can do that pretty quick. But see, that's about 2 inches right there. To make enough of this cordage to make a net or something like that, it would take days. Alright, now we're close to the end here. This is where it gets interesting. This is where you have to add more to it. You've got all this. You just want to take a couple pieces, you know, kind of lay them in on your shorter side. I try to do it at the top so it's the first thing that I twist. You see? And it twists right into it. Just to give you a more close-up view of this and how I'm doing it. So I'll pinch right here where it crosses. Pinch that. And then I'm going to twist away from my body. Reach down with this finger. Pinch this. And flip it back towards my body and just move my finger up to hold that twist. See? So I'm going to pinch right there, twist away, grab this tag end and flip it towards me. Add back to the top end because it's going to thin out. Now add some to the bottom. this process will be the same no matter what type of cordage you're making, what plant you're using, whether it's yucca cordage or cedar cordage or, you know, nettle cordage. If it's a fibrous plant, then you can make a cord out of it. You'll just repeat this process over and over again. Sorry, my hand itched. Adding a little bit more to it each time. So far we've got about, I don't know, 8 inches of cord. Like I said, this is not a fast process. This is a slow down and take your time kind of thing. In survival, that's not really a bad thing, to slow down and take your time. I just wanted you to see how I trim this up and the way it looks after it's trimmed up. Just take those little tag ends, lay them down, and kind of pinch and pull with your knife. And again, if you don't have a knife handy, you can always use the sharper side of the rock. And you don't have to have a nap tool. This is seriously just a rock that I found that has a point on it, or an edge. And see, it cleans it up just as well as the knife does. Which this is just aesthetics anyways. In a situation where you need some cordage, you don't care if it's got a little flyaway on it. There it is. That looks good. Alright, I'm going to keep twisting at this. And I've got a couple of plans for this cordage. So I need a good bit. I'm looking at needing probably 10 or 15 feet. One thing is, my wife has challenged me to make a friction fire, bow drill fire, without using my knife, which I guess it don't count because I used it to scrape this. Anyways, I can do that with a rock. But she's challenged me to do it without using my knife, my hatchet, or my saw. And I accept that challenge. So I'm going to need some cordage. And it's either going to be this yucca, or maybe even some sinew, once I get some sinew. I've got some deer legs frozen that I can skin out. But I won't have time to do that before this storm moves in. It's starting to look pretty dark out here. Doesn't take a lot of effort to make this, but it does take a lot of time. I'm probably going to take the rest of the day and twist up some more. Like I said, 10 or 15 feet to use for a couple other builds. Well, I hope you guys were able to learn something from this. Maybe even twist up some of your own cordage. Like I said, practice, because it's a muscle memory kind of thing. You know, I can sit here and don't even have to look at it, and I can make, you know, keep twisting it, keep twisting it, keep twisting it. But the more you practice, the better you'll get. You see, that's all pretty uniform. It tapers off a little bit right there, but that's okay. That'll wind up being knotted out anyways. But it's all pretty uniform. That's the trick to it. Just remember that it's only as strong as its thinnest piece. So the thinnest piece being way down here at the very tip, I'm not too worried about that, but I don't want it to thin out in the middle. Remember to twist forward, grab, and flip back. Twist forward, grab, and flip back. And lay your extra strands in as you go to lengthen it out, and you can make as much of this as you want. Like I said, this might be something, you know, a weekend project, or just something to fidget with while you're sitting around. Keep an eye out for the next videos where I may be using this. I may be making friction fire with it. That's the challenge anyways. In a later video, I'll show you how to do this same kind of cordage with deer sinew. And it's a little bit stronger. You can back bows and stuff with that. You can make bowstrings that are a little bit stronger than this. But anyways, I'll show you that. It's coming up. Probably do a video on skinning out the deer legs, show you how to take those tendons out and process them down, dry them out, and bust them up, and make the strands to make the cordage with. So if you want to see that, subscribe, hit the notification icon. That way you'll know every time I upload a video. And I'm not sure exactly when it'll be coming up, but it's coming up soon. I'll maybe even show you how to do the Flemish twist with the deer sinew to make the bowstring, which is just awesome. All of these little skills like this, they come in so handy in any kind of situation where you ran out of cordage, or maybe your pack was lost and you have to make that fire using that bow drill. You know, even just a limb hook or a set line for fishing, just whatever. You know, there's so many uses for this little piece of string right here. You can make it as long as you want to. It just depends on how much time you have. Me, like I said, I need 10 or 15 feet of this. I'm going to keep twisting this up and hopefully get that before it starts storming, and that way I can do my bow drill and a couple other projects with it later. Alright guys, again, if you like this video or you like the rest of them, subscribe. I'm going to have so many more coming out. Hit the notification bell, that way as soon as I do, you know it, you can watch it. You know, put all of this stuff to practice, and just keep trying it. You know, you're not going to have this perfect right off the bat, but the more you do it, the easier it'll be. Okay guys, I'm glad you got to see me. Until next time, see you later.